Once again, live from the parking lot of Sprouts Farmers Market in the beautiful Land Park area of Sacramento, California, on an absolutely gorgeous sunny day, a little bit chilly. And as we can hear, the hustle and bustle of the parking lot is again with us. Anyway, I was reading something that I hadn't read in many years. Well, I wasn't reading, I was thumbing through it. Crowley wrote a couple of novels. He wrote several works of fiction, but only two kind of novels. And one is the Diary of a Drug Fiend, and the other one was Moonchild. Now, both of these novels are kind of weird things in and of themselves, in that, yes, they are novels. Yes, they were aimed at a broad audience of people that just read novels and strange things. But there's so much Crowley in it. There's so much magical stuff. There's so much Kabbalah in it. And there's just so, and you can see, Crowley's brilliance and his shortcomings are just laid bare in them. And if you're a Crowley aficionado and you read his fiction, you're almost embarrassed for him, in the same way that you'd be embarrassed if your best friend all of a sudden wrote a novel and he asked you to read it, or she asked you to read it, and give your candid opinion, and you know the person so well that you kind of know what they're doing. You sort of crawled in their own mind and where they're coming from, and so you know when they're being presumptuous, or you know when their language is being affected, and you're just not a good critic, because you can't suspend your disbelief that this is all coming out of my best friend. And that's sort of the way it is with Crowley. But the stuff that he includes in his novel there are nuggets of just pure gold. And I want to talk a little bit about what I discovered, and it blew me away just thumbing through Moonchild this morning. But anyway, let's talk about the Emerald Tablet of Hermes, first of all. Many years ago, I think back in around 1993 or 4, my good friends Chick and Zero were putting together a series of books for Llewellyn. They're anthologies of based on different themes, okay? And the third one in the series was The Art of Hermes, and they called it the Golden Dawn Journal. Now, they've long since discontinued this, but there's essays by them and other people too. So Don Tyson and Isadora Forrest and Sam Webster and Gareth Knight and Mitch and Gail Henson, John Michael Greer. Okay, so obviously I'm the biggest putz in this collection of people. I'm the biggest putz on the panel, as I say. But I wrote about the Emerald Tablet of Hermes and the invocation of the Holy Guardian Angel. And of course, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it's sort of an introduction to the concept of the Holy Guardian Angel as originally presented in the Book of the Sacred Magic of Abramelin the Mage. And I use as an illustration of the basic format and structure of the Abramelin operation, I use the Emerald Tablet of Hermes. Well, here's what I say. The Holy Guardian Angel is more than the projected image of our perfected self, or the voice of our conscience. It's more than the innocent, inherent knowledge between right and wrong. It is more than the divine ear that hears us when we look to heaven and pray, "Oh God, if you just get me out of this, I'll never do anything so stupid again." But what that more than is difficult to discuss. Abramelin doesn't even spend much time trying. Get your angel and have him explain seems to be the thrust of his advice. And in the final analysis is probably the wisest counsel. Nevertheless, since knowledge and conversation of the Holy Guardian Angel is of such supreme importance to the spiritual career of the aspirant, it might be helpful to see how the concept might be more clearly illustrated. To do this, I'll briefly review the basic Kabbalistic principles as they relate to the fundamental document of Hermeticism, the Emerald Tablet of Hermes. And then I chose the version of the Emerald Tablet that I first read in a tiny little book by Manly Palmer Hall called Secret Keys of Freemasonry or something like that. And so, verse by verse, I take the Emerald Tablet, it's only 13 verses, and do a little exegesis on it. And I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I put it in Kabbalistic terms. And that illustration that I posted this morning on my Facebook page, and you're not going to be able to see this worth a damn because it's backwards. But what we're seeing here are inside a bubble are three things. The big thing on top says only one thing, the Creator. That's the big bubble. The sun is its father, the moon its mother, wind carries it on its wings, spiritus earth is its nurse. Okay, and then radiating out from it, that's the one only thing, the Creator. But then there's two little ones that says only one, and that's the Sustainer. And then there's a third thing that says only God, and that's the Director. And all of that's enclosed in a big bubble that says Father of, and then down below, all things in the universe. Okay, it's not quite the tree of life, but it's three different things, just like Hermes Trismegistus. The only one thing, and the only one, and only God. Put them all together, they represent the Father of all things. Now, those of you who are familiar with the Tao Te Ching sort of recognize an echo, a post-echo or a pre-echo of the idea of the opening lines of the Tao Te Ching, where it talks about the named and the nameless. The nameless is the source, but the named is the mother of all things, kind of thing. So I'm not gonna read my exegesis. I'll save that for another time. But I'm just going to read the 13 verses as Manly Paul's book translated it. It is true and no lie, certain to be depended upon, that the superior agrees with the inferior, and the inferior with the superior, to effect that one truly wonderful work. All things owe their existence to the will of the only one. So all things owe their origin to the one only thing, the most hidden, by the arrangement of the only God. So just briefly, so the only one to whose will all things owe their existence, the one only thing, the most hidden, to whom all things owe their origin, and only God, who appears to have arranged this whole show. Oh, let me dilate that for a second. The only one thing, the most hidden, is the Creator, the hidden and unknowable thing. Its supreme mystery is the secret of how it came forth from negative existence. It contains all things great and small. We're talking about the one only thing most hidden. To see it, know it, even think about it is as impossible as trying to see the back of your own head by turning around. In the Kabbalah, the first Sephirah, up there at the top, is called Kether. It's also called Timira de Authakin, the concealed of the concealed. Now, the only one is the sustainer, the tuon of the Greeks, or the Tao of Lao Tzu. If the one only thing is the power generator, the only one is the electricity itself. The only God is the organizer and director of all that one only thing creates and only one sustains. It's the grand architect of the universe and the only aspect of the universal agent designated God by the Emerald Tablet. Okay, I had to do that. So let me go on to number 3. The father of that one only thing is the sun. Its mother is the moon. The wind carries it in its wings, but its nurse is a spiritus earth. Spiritus earth, as if the quintessential element of spirit is locked inside and forms the foundation, is one with, is the throne of earth itself, or earth is the throne of spirit. In the same way as the princesses, the earth sub-element of the tarot court card suit is the throne of the ace, the spirit. So spirit and earth. Earth may be the lowest of the low, but it's the key to unlocking the highest of the high. But I digress. I'll say this again. The father of the one only thing is the sun. Its mother is the moon. The wind carries it in its wings, but its nurse is the spiritus earth. That one only thing after God is the father of all things in the universe, just like we showed in that thing. The next verse, its power is perfect after it has been united with spiritus earth. In the same way as our power is perfect when we're united with the holy guardian angel. And then I go on with a little fairy tale of Yod-Heh Vav-Heh. Next verse, separate that spiritus earth from the dense or crude earth by means of a gentle heat with much attention. Now we're talking about the alchemical process of releasing that spirit with a gentle heat, with much attention. Next verse, in great measure it ascends from earth up to heaven and descends again newborn on the earth, and the superior and the inferior are increased in power. The next verse, thou shalt by this means possess the glory of the whole world, and therefore all obscurity shall flee away from thee. This is the potent force of all force, for it will overcome everything subtle and penetrate everything solid. In this manner the world was created, but the arrangements to follow this road are hidden. As we near the end of this little article, the Emerald Tablet leaves us with mysteries. This is me. The enigmatic choice of words of the 10th verse teases us not with a hidden road, but hidden details of the journey. The road is revealed in the first verse, and the alchemical process by which we equip ourselves for travel are admirably set forth in the verses that follow. Why then are the arrangements to follow this road hidden? Perhaps because the journey is different for each of us. Knowledge and conversation of the Holy Guardian Angel is a most intensely personal experience. It's almost impossible to share the details of your angelic relationship with another person because in all likelihood he or she will not recognize your personal pantheon of images or nuances of your unique spiritual vocabulary that make the experience real to you. My angel might scare the pants off of you. Okay, that's where I'll drop it there. Continuing on almost to the end. For this reason I am called Hiram Talat Meshathoth, one in essence, but three in aspect. In this Trinity is hidden the wisdom of the whole world. It is ended now, what I have said concerning the effects of the sun. It is ended now, what I have said concerning the effects of the sun, S-U-N. Okay, now, what I read this morning in Moonchild, and I hope my Kindle still works here. Moonchild is a novel where Cyril Gray, who is sort of the young, dashing alter ego of Crowley, the romantic lead who just knows everything. He's so cool and terribly chauvinistic. Takes his girlfriend, if you will, and to make her a vessel to incarnate a moon child or a spirit of the moon, to literally make her pregnant. His and her baby will be the physical medium to incarnate a spirit of the moon. Okay, and this whole book is about this extended operation. But anyway, as she's sort of getting into it, as she's preparing herself by just only eating moon food and listening to moon music and just sleeping in like a crescent-shaped rocking canoe kind of thing, she's starting to have visions and stuff. And she has this vision of sort of a hermit, and the hermit has a lamp, but the whole world is bright, but the lamp is darkness. It's a lamp of darkness. And she follows him into a cave, and in the cave is the body of the hermit. It's like his twin brother is in the cave, and he's got this book on his chest, and he's dead. And she reads the book, and it's in a strange language, and she's sort of drifting off in a trance and saying what this language is. And then Cyril, the magician boyfriend, is writing it down and interpreting it. And afterwards, it was translated by Cyril Gray, and there is no need to give the original. Now, we've just heard the Emerald Tablet of Hermes. This is Crowley's version of the Emerald Tablet. Utter the word of majesty and terror, true without lie and certain without error, and of the essence of the truth. I know the things above are as the things below. The things below are as the things above. To wield the one thing's thaumaturgy, love. As all from one spring by one contemplation, so all from one were born by permutation. Sun sired, moon bore. This unique universe. Air was its chariot, earth was its nurse. Here is the root of every talisman of the whole world, since the whole world began. Here is the font and source of every soul. Let it be spilt on earth. Its strength is whole. Now gently, subtly, with thine art conspire to find the gross, dividing the earth and fire. Lo, it ascendeth and descendeth, even and swift, an endless band of earth and heaven. Thus it receiveth might of duplex love, the powers below conjoined with those above. So shalt the glory of the world be thine, and darkness flee before thy sovereign shrine. This is the strong strength of all strength. Surpass the subtle and subdue it. Pierce the crass and solve it. So bring all things to their fated perfection. For by this all was created. O marvel of miracle, O magic mode, all things adapted to one circling code. Since 3 parts of all wisdom I may claim, Hermes thrice great, the greatest is my name. What I have written of the one sole Son, his work is here divined, dared, and done. I don't know about you, and I'm not a poet, or I'm not an expert at poetry or anything else, but I sort of know the direction the Emerald Tablet of Hermes has taken, and I think that was good shit, okay? The paragraph that follows, he says, in this obscure and antique oracle, so Simon If himself, that's Crowley's counterpart or alter ego as the elderly sage. In this obscure and antique oracle, so Simon If himself subsequently agreed, the secret of the universe is revealed to those who are worthy to partake of it. Anyway, that's where I'm going to end the Tuesday parking lot ramblings for today. And I'm going to go off and try to enjoy the day. I've got a load of our old books that we're getting ready just to donate to the local libraries here. It's our books, Jean-Paul's books, lots of books. But anyway, we've got some chores to do today anyway, some running around. So until tomorrow, continue to be good to yourself, be good to each other. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law, love under will.